Thank you so much, Jean. Again, my name is Jennifer Boylan, and I'm the Rhode Island chapter leader for Moms Demand Action. I want to start by just acknowledging and applauding our governor for what she did yesterday. Linda spoke a little bit about it. She convened a conversation about gun violence that was really tremendous, and we really all need to thank her for that. This was a roundtable discussion that included state, local, and federal officials, members of the judiciary, law enforcement, and all kinds of community organizations that discussed gun violence. It was a really productive and wonderful conversation, more productive than many of the ones that I've seen in the State House in the past 3 years. One of the central focuses of the discussion was disarming domestic abusers, as Linda said, and it's definitely time for our state to take a hard look at this issue and strengthen its laws. Up until 3 years ago, I really didn't know much about gun violence. I knew about the high-profile shootings that you read about in the news, Columbine, Tucson, Aurora, but I cared enough to know that these things existed in the world, but I didn't care enough to do anything about it. My life was very busy and full, and gun violence was something that happened on the news, and it wasn't a problem that I had to deal with. Everything changed for me when 20 first graders and 6 educators were murdered in less than 5 minutes on December 14th in 2012. After Sandy Hook, I knew that gun violence was my problem. I did a lot of homework right after that shooting. I researched gun violence and learned a lot about the issues. And what I learned was staggering. Over 30,000 Americans are killed by guns every single year. That's 88 Americans a day, 8 of which are children. Once I started really digging into the issue and learning about gun violence, I was ashamed of myself for not having paid attention. I felt really helpless. What could I, one mom, one person, do to make a difference? But I resolved that I was going to do something. I wasn't just going to sit on the sidelines. It was going to be something I was going to get active in. And right after Sandy Hook, I found an organization called Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. Like Mothers Against Drunk Driving was created to reduce drunk driving deaths, Moms Demand Action was created to demand action from legislators and companies to establish common sense gun reforms. Moms Demand Action was born on Facebook. It started out as an online movement, but it has grown into a force for gun violence prevention with chapters in 50 states. We are a grassroots network affecting change on the local, state, and national level. And we're not just limited to moms. Most of us are moms, but we have lots of members who are fathers and brothers and sisters and uncles and cousins. We're an organization of people that care about gun violence. We envision a country where all children and families are safe from gun violence. We are educating, motivating, and mobilizing mothers and families to take action that will result in stronger laws and policies to save lives and bring peace to our communities. And moms all across our state are helping. This past spring, we supported legislation to disarm domestic abusers. And come next spring, we will be back at the State House advocating for that legislation once again. We also have many moms in Rhode Island who are working on something called the Be Smart campaign. Be Smart is an educational campaign to reduce preventable, unintentional child shootings. Each year, 100 children die in unintentional shootings in our country. That's one every 36 hours. And over 400 children die by suicide with a gun. I have moms trained in the Be Smart presentation, giving these presentations all over the state to educate people, parents, adults, about the importance of safe gun storage, the importance about asking about a gun in the home where their children play, We're spreading this message in all kinds of ways at house parties, at PTOs, through moms clubs. We're talking to doctors, we're talking to schools, church groups, anyone who's interested in preventing gun violence. Moms also has committed to bringing survivors of gun violence together to build communities of support throughout the country. We have in-person and online opportunities for survivors to connect with each other, honor the lives of their loved ones, and create long-lasting bonds. Survivors of gun violence have the unique moral authority to remind elected officials and everyday Americans that our weak gun laws have serious consequences and urge them to take action to reduce gun violence. With support from moms, survivors are empowered to share their stories and become leaders in campaigns to support common sense gun laws. I am a Reformed Jew. Tikkun olam is the Jewish concept defined by acts of kindness performed to repair the world. When it comes to America's gun violence epidemic, we are sorely in need of repair. American mothers are an important voice that when harnessed will yield significant change. And I invite you to join us as we raise our voices together to make change. Thank you.